already rocking a bit. It's gonna be fun.
Yes, it is.
Is there an idea to bring me out on the boat and just beat the living crap out of me? Is that?
That's pretty much the idea. So.
Again, you've been out here a few times already today?
Just once. I took Captain and his mate out earlier than Run a Big Viking, so.
Oh, okay.
So they were good with it and used to it, but they brought their rain jackets, so.
I left mine in the truck. Too many. Well, I'll dry out.
So I figured I'd just throw mine up there. So.
Yeah.
At least
it's a nasty day. You can see that already. All right, ready when you are.
Anything specific you want to do or see right now?
Well, I guess we're going to see the Seakeeper Ride in action first, right?
All right.
And the Seakeeper's engaged right now?
The gyro's on. They're both on. I can turn the gyro off and just do the ride, or but the.
If you want to leave it on for right now, I guess for the people watching, what kind of speeds do you recommend leaving it on, and when should you shut it off, or you do not shut it off at all at any point?
So for the,
obviously referring to the gyro.
For the Seakeeper Gyro, I tell all my clients, turn it on when you leave the dock, turn it off when you come home. Don't worry about what speed or direction or sea state or any of that. You've got it, you've paid for it. It does improve the performance of the vessel at all speeds. It's more noticeable at the slower speeds, but it is going to improve the ride. When you're up and running on plane, especially in quartering seas, the boat's going to track better. So we always just say leave it on all day, run it, let it have after it. Don't worry about what speed you're going for the gyro. It's going to make a difference no matter what you're doing. And then the Seakeeper Ride system, obviously, that really only comes into play once you get up on plane, and helps with the pitch, the roll, trimming out the boat, and just overall smooth the ride.
All right. Yeah, I know there's been question, and I've even had the question about the gyro itself, and if you had to turn it off, did it affect the movement at all? It's obviously the RPM that thing is spinning, so I've had you guys mention it to me and a few others that, hey, just leave it on all day. So that's something I wanted to clarify, and obviously from an expert like yourself, rather it come out of your mouth than mine. So.
Yeah, absolutely. You can lock it, but there's really no reason to. There's no scenario where you shouldn't be running the gyro when you're underway. So again, we just say for ease and enjoying it, you've got it on board, turn it on, engage it when you leave the dock, and leave it on until you get home, and let it run, and just don't one less thing to worry about. So.
And the Seakeeper Ride, that's working even at this speed?
The Seakeeper Ride is honestly not doing much at this speed, where we're just kind of motoring around. It's taking readings and getting ready to go. So when the boat starts to plane off, it'll help us plane off faster. But until the boat really gets going and on plane, it's not actually doing much. Once we get up 12, 13, 14 miles an hour and start planing off, that's when the ride system's going to start kicking in.
Gotcha. So it is pretty rough out here. I know we have some cowboys out there always complaining about the seas and saying, yeah, I have more of a chop in my bathtub than that. But you can see the Orion, what it's doing behind us.
Yeah,
and we're taking some water just because it is nasty and the wind is throwing the water on us here. So again, perfect day to be able to see what this thing is capable of. And definitely not a day you're going to be going offshore at any point on a 25-footer, probably even a 35-footer. So
not most days, but we're professionals out here. We know what we're doing.
Exactly.
And, it is small craft advisory, but we're going to try to push it up.
I needed a little salt in my system. So this is
we're going to try and put a few things to bed for some of the naysayers.
There we go. Yeah, we've been talking about doing this for quite some time, so I'm glad we're actually able to do it now.
Yep.
Actually put the microphone in my back pocket. Well, you weren't kidding about the rain jacket. I was like, we're not going to need that.
Once we get past the inlet just a little bit, I'll turn it.
How are these guys doing up here?
You might want to jump on the other side real quick.
Oh, shit! Oh, you're gonna get it. Don't worry about it. So Tim mentioned that I should have brought a rain jacket. Didn't really know why. I didn't know it was this rough out here, and I know you guys at home are always gonna have something to say about the chop, but we have no business being out here on a 25-footer, but we're doing it to prove a point. We want to show what the Seakeeper products are capable of, from the Gyro Seakeeper 1 to the Seakeeper Ride. So we're going to do a demonstration here and see if it translates through video. We're going to run a little bit. What do you want to do? System off, system on?
Yeah, we can start out with it off, see if we can tell the difference with it on in this sea state. You know, run with it.
All right, let's start with it. Let's start with it off. Take all the Seakeeper systems off, and let's see what the Latitude tournament boat does on a day like this. I mean, we got some 3-footers, we got some 5-footers, some nice swells. So again, perfect. It's got to be blowing 20, 22, 25 knots, even some gusts. So it's ripping out here today. Hopefully the guys can capture this from the outside too. Definitely not easy to film.
So both
from an exterior boat.
Both systems are off right now. We're going about 10 miles an hour, beam C, and like you said, solid 3 to 5 right now. This is with it off. Pretty much all over the place.
Whoa. Yep. Oh man. So the system was on a minute ago. You had everything on a minute ago.
When we first started filming, it was on. I've got it off now. We'll turn the gyro on now just so you can see the difference in trolling speeds.
Turned on. Okay. Dude, night and day difference again. It's huge if you don't do that, you know, left to right. Yep. I guess you get some because the waves are so serious right now. But for the most part, we're basically just going up and down with it, and it's 1,000 times more comfortable.
Yep. So this is you know, some pretty solid sea state. I'll turn the gyro off again.
All right,
so
gyro off.
Can really get an idea, you know, semi. You know,
there we go.
On the borderline of conditions that we probably shouldn't be running beam C in a 25-footer, but you know, we're going to do it for a while anyways. So definitely feel the boat bouncing all over the place now. At you know, like I say, maybe 10 knots give or take trolling speed. So
yeah,
we'll turn the gyro back on now. Give her a second to catch up. You know, and when you're broadside with a steep 4 or 5-footer, the boat's still going to move a little bit, but it's vastly
the waves are just big enough to move us no matter what, a little bit. But what percentage would you say you're knocking off of that?
I would say even in this 3 to 5 foot, we're probably still knocking off 80 to 85%.
Yeah.
So
that sounds fair to me. Yep. What if we just drop it down into neutral?
Yep, that's
System's off now, right?
System's off now, yeah.
All right, guys. You can see that the system is off. We got, you know, again, there could be some 2-footers here, but we definitely have some 5-foot swells, if not bigger. That's bigger. Watch this one come right now, and let's see what it does to us with no gyro on. Okay? Okay. All right. I don't know if you want to kick it in gear. Let's wait for the next one though.
Yeah.
So people don't think we're cheating here. Here's a decent one. And there's another one coming behind it.
Yep.
All right, go ahead and kick it in gear. Is it on?
Just engaged it, yep.
Just engaged. All right, so you see we just kind of go up and down over it, but there's really not much left to right roll. And that's basically what it does. You know, the Seakeeper can't stop the boat from going up and down with the waves, but it definitely can make the experience much more enjoyable. The wind has not died down. There's another big roller. You see, it almost feels like it knocks it down. It's a serious wave coming our way. But again, if you look at the boat, that's probably where the that optical illusion comes in, that it's not doing what you think. You think that the waves calmed down, but it definitely did not. It's just that the boat has flattened out, and it's just going up and down with the waves slightly. You guys have the Seakeeper on over there? So you guys are pretty comfortable too. So again, this thing isn't going to eliminate 100% of the roll, but it's going to take away 80-85% even in a 3 to 5 foot sea on a 25-foot boat like that, which is night and day difference. You really can't be out here, or you're going to be very uncomfortable if you are without it. But you kick it in gear, and you can manage, get a day of fishing in if you really want to. Oh yeah! Oh my God! That would have been a good video from here. That was a freaking building that went by us. But people at home are going to say it's 2 feet or less.
There's a couple more coming, so.
All right, so we got some big rollers coming through. Seakeeper 1 is engaged on a 25 footer, and it almost seems like it's not that rough. And I know some of you at home are gonna say that it's not, but I mean, these are some serious waves coming up and over, and I wish you could see the Orion over here. So it almost completely eliminates the pitch and roll altogether, and you could really get a comfortable day out of fishing out here if you wanted to, which otherwise you'd have no business coming out here. So incredible product, and now we're going to test the Seakeeper Ride and see if we can show the difference with that engaged and not engaged, and hopefully it translates to the video as well.
Yeah, I mean, we can try. We want to try to like run beam C with it on and off and see if they can do it. Or
Yeah, where do you feel it's most noticeable? Like that kind of leveling us out, the beam C, or
well, probably
head
head on.
C,
This is almost so big, it's going to be hard to run. Even with
I don't think we're going to be able to do much.
Hard to go head on and do it. I mean, we can do a little bit, but it's, I don't know if it's going to be like, you and I would feel the difference, but head on is going to be hard to translate to video because we're not going to be like,
gotcha.
If I had like my racing helmet on, we could like launch it and then not launch it, but it's pretty big out here for the head on stuff, even with the rod of this boat.
Whoa! Turned it off?
Yeah, the gyro's off. I figured I'd...
My gosh, I wonder if you can see that in the GoPro footage, how crazy the rock is. And this thing has a stabilization in it, so it might not translate as well there, but now they're catching it from the other boat.
You know, 15 plus degree rolls with the...
No, there's some big ones out here today for
like
sure.
3 to 5, degree rolls the most with it on, so... The ride system's on. Immediately bouncing around everywhere.
Yeah, oh my lord.
Then we turn it back on.
Oh my gosh, yep. That is crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, the LTV is a good riding boat too. It's just so rough out here for a 25 footer without that unit engaged. I mean, forget it. Alright, so right now we have the Seakeeper Ride system disengaged, so you can see the boat, what it's doing. I mean, we're jumping around quite a bit, and this is a good riding boat. You can see the splash in the video from the Orion, but once we go ahead and click it in, see if you can pull in a little bit. We're disengaged now. You can see us jumping. And we're kind of going at a slow speed. Go ahead and kick it in, Tim. There we go. You can see how the bow just leveled out. And now we're running smooth, picking up the speed. It allows us to pick up a little more speed now, which is nice also. And it completely changes the experience out here. I've been super impressed with the Seakeeper Ride. I always say you can get a poor riding boat and turn it into a nice riding boat. Yeah, it's kind of like a cheat code. So if you get a boat that rides nice and you slap these things on, it turns it into a Cadillac, Yeah, again, on conditions that otherwise you're not running offshore much at all.
No.
So if you're the type of person that says if it's blowing, we're going, I can't really make the point strong enough how much more comfortable it makes, or it just gives you the ability to get out there on a day like this, when otherwise you're just gonna get beat to crap. So some people have told me that they like the traditional tabs because they've been running them for 20 years, and all I can say is that you got to try this thing if you have not already. And the combination between the Seakeeper Gyro and the Seakeeper Ride is just absolutely phenomenal. Again, it makes a day that otherwise you are not going to go out. If you are going to go out, you're just going to have a terrible day. And if you're a tournament angler that you got to go out no matter what, this thing will significantly change the game for you. and allow you to focus more on the task at hand. Go out there and fish, focus on what you're doing, be able to tie your knots, be able to rig your baits, when otherwise I don't think you'd be able to do it on a day like this, especially on a boat of this size. So incredible, and all I can say is that you gotta experience it yourself to really believe it. It's something beyond an explanation, you know. So people ask me all the time, hey, what is this thing about? What does it feel like? And it's hard to really explain what this thing does. It really gets the boat and turns it into kind of like a hovercraft of sorts. So super impressed, and every time I get out, I don't think I've been out on a boat of this size on a day this rough with both units combined. So very impressed with it.
Definitely makes it doable. Almost like blues it to tops of the waves, but like you said, that's the description that I use. Is it almost feels like a hovercraft, because a lot of times you're just floating over the waves when you've never had, you know, or you've never been on a boat that has it. It's really the best way to describe it is just being on tops of the waves instead of going through them.
Yeah.
So.
It really is amazing how far technology has come and what an impact, you know, these products make on these boats. Super impressive. So for those that are kind of against technology and, you know, see some of the advancements that have been out there and say, hey, you're not a real captain, I go, man, that's crap. People run businesses through their iPhones now, and if it wasn't because of technology, I mean, things would be way different. So same thing with boating.
Yeah,
if you can use the technology to improve your day, improve your experience, improve the experience of your family, why the heck not do it?
Give yourself more boating days every year. More,
100%.
more days that you get to utilize that investment.
Yeah, there's people in those rough areas that just don't get calm days. So
yep,
if you can get a rough day and get out there because of these products, I mean, that's huge.
Absolutely. It's a game changer, and you got to come feel it. You know, the videos hopefully give people a taste, but that's why we have the demo boats. That's why we're here doing it, because you know, we don't want you to just take our word for it. You know, we encourage you to come check it out and try it out yourself.
Yeah. And if you're serious about it, the dock rocks are cool, but doesn't show what the real experience is like out here.
No.
They gotta find a day with a bit of chop and spend 10 minutes out here, and I think anybody would be sold after that.
Absolutely.
So Tim, when it comes to the gyro, what different sizes do they come? This is a Seakeeper 1. How small can you go with that? And then how big do you guys go?
Sure. So with the Seakeeper 1, we've done as small. We've done like a 22-foot Scout, 23-foot Parker. This is a 25-foot LTB. The Seakeeper 1 will go up to, you know, depending on the weight of the vessel, around 30 feet, you know, or 11 tons. It's kind of the top end for the Seakeeper 1. Then you go to the Seakeeper 2. You know, sometimes we might find out on a 28-footer, but if it's a heavier boat or a diesel inboard, that'll go up to 35 feet or 15 tons, 30,000 pounds, excuse me, 7.5 tons, and 15,000 pounds. Then you go on up to Seakeeper 3. We've got the new 4, which is also DC. So basically, we can do DC models all the way up into the low to mid 40-foot range for boats that don't have generators or don't want to run the generators.
Right.
You start with the AC models of the Seakeeper 4.5, and then you go on all the way up to Seakeeper 40. Now the Seakeeper 40 is what we would see installed in like a 92-foot Viking or some of the other big custom sport fish, you know, anything like that. And then above that, you can do multiple units. We've actually done like a 165-foot motor yacht, you know, with multiple units. So there's all sorts of configurations you can do to basically go as big as you want to. So all right, we definitely would not be hanging out here having this conversation in these seas if
no.
we didn't have the gyro on.
No, I mean, there's some. You're talking, and I'm seeing these freaking high rises stack up right over your head here. We're just kind of gliding over them. So
when
nice.
you think about the water line and then how high our heads are off the water, that's when you can legitimately say, you know, there's some solid 4 to 5s, occasional 6 out here.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. There's some real ones. When it comes to the Seakeeper rides, how small can you go and how big can you get with that?
Basically on the Seakeeper Ride, you know, I think the smallest we've done is around 20 feet. It really is, as long as you've got space on your transom for it, there's no limit to technically how small you can go. Right now there's 4 different models. One of them was just released. So you have the Ride 450, which is marketed for the 21 to like 26 foot boats. You've got the Ride 525, which is marketed for like 27 to 31 foot boats. The Ride 600, which is marketed for 32 to, depending on the weight, 36, 37 feet. And then they just released the Ride 750. You got actually 2 models of that. So the 750 is good for up to 42 feet. But we also have what's called the Quad 750. So it's actually, instead of 2 controllers, it's 4 controllers. So if you have like a triple or quad outboard engine configuration, or some configuration on your transom where you don't have room for the 2 larger controllers, now we can do 4 smaller controllers. They just released that model. They actually, the first models are shipping to us this week. We've already got a few of them sold. So for right now, the Seakeeper Ride product is primarily marketed from about 21 to 42 feet.
Gotcha. They have plans of going bigger, you know about?
I'm sure they do. Nothing that I could put in writing, but knowing Seakeeper, they're always trying to improve our ride and our time on the water. So I have no doubt they're working on something.
Yeah, nor do I. All right, so here we are with the Seakeeper Gyro on and the Seakeeper Ride on. We're going nice and easy. Go ahead and pick up the speed a little bit. Kind of a beam C, maybe almost quartering. And it is nasty out here. You can see the boat kind of disappearing behind the waves. Again, this is a day that otherwise we would not be out on the water, but the Seakeeper Ride and the Seakeeper Gyro combination really make it possible. If you want to get out here and fish on a day like this, you probably wouldn't if you didn't have this unit out here. And I guarantee you, on a tournament day where you have no choice but to get out there, it's going to make your experience a lot more comfortable. You can focus on rigging your baits, focus on the task at hand, and not getting your ass kicked the entire day because it's rough and you don't have the right setup. It's on right now?
It's on right now. I'll turn it off for a second. And immediately we start banging.
Huh?
Immediately the boat starts banging and bouncing around.
At least, maybe 40.
Yep. We'd have problems out of the water.
Yeah, you're definitely not doing this without the Seakeeper Ride system engaged. Great.
Like the boat's gonna go airborne and just stay glued to it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It stops you from just flying out of the water. And again, we're doing really no rolling either. No left to right.
We're riding right up,
climbing up
sides of some pretty,
oh my God.
Pretty steep waves there.
That was nasty. That was incredible.
That one would have hurt him on the ride.
You made me worry for half a second there, but
no, I wouldn't even feel safe riding on some of these without the ride system on.
No. Again, if we didn't have the ride system on, we would have gone airborne multiple times. This thing kind of keeps you in place, keeps the props in the water, so you're just not flying left to right, and eliminates the roll too. So we're really not doing that left to right, that one of these, buildings of a wave would make you do when you're climbing up it. It levels you out and keeps you level the entire time. I don't know how well you can hear me, but it's pretty incredible. We would not be doing this on a boat of this size in this weather, not even close, without the Seakeeper Ride units engaged. Look at that. That was crazy. Another one. Oh my Lord. Look at that. That is insane.
Yeah. Now there's some big ones here, that's for sure.
I know what people are going to say in the video, that it's not that rough, because it kind of makes it seem like it's not that bad.
Yeah.
From the video in here, I'm pretty sure from the video out there, they got to be able to see it. I mean, it is wicked, and obviously we're getting wet a little bit just because of the wind and the size of these waves. There's no getting around that, but
yeah.
Holy crap. That was very, very impressive and quite the comfortable ride again in
25-foot
3 to 5s and a 25-footer. Nice.
That's it's rough enough. It's getting some good shots, but like to really let it eat with the ride system, where you almost need just like a 1 to 2 day where you see it just do that and then lay out. This is
almost too much.
People that are watching, you know, that are experienced, you know, professional boat drivers will know the difference, but it is a little challenging to truly show the difference here.
Yeah.
Due to how rough it is. So.
Again, we're getting random waves. We've gotten a couple over the bow.
Yep.
Just because, look at this.
Turn her sideways here.
Oh man. All right, I hope you guys can see how rough it is out here and really appreciate what the Seakeeper ON and the Seakeeper Ride units are doing. It really adds more days to the year. That's really what I'm noticing. On a day that you would never go out, you know, fishing, you're obviously not going to just cruise and hang out in this kind of weather, but you can come out here and fish no problem with these units engaged. You turn them off and it gets a little uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. So again, for those areas that don't get the calm seas, it's nice to be able to add more days to your year and really get more use out of your boat, and the Seakeeper systems really allow that to happen. All right, here we go.
Kick it on.
Go ahead and kick it on. Look at that. Flatten this out completely. Obviously the boat's gonna go up and down a little bit, but there's some nice waves, nice rollers rolling through here, and we're on a 25 LTB. It's not a huge boat. Blowing 20 plus knots. You can hear the wind probably in the microphone, but this thing makes it so comfortable. It's taking probably 90% of the roll out of the way, and all we're doing is going up and down with these things. Combine this with a Seakeeper Ride unit, and you're really gonna be able to get out here many more days out of the year, even on a smaller center console or smaller boat. So absolutely incredible combination. And we really got to experience it for real out here today. Well, I can definitely say that this has been one of the best demonstrations I've been on, personally. So,
perfect.
Nice to be able to get it done. Hopefully, again, the people watching get excited enough to jump out here with you and check it out themselves. Because again, I can tell people until blue in the face how crazy this stuff is, but until they get out here and try it on their own.
That's why we have the demo boat. You know, that's what I always tell people at boat shows. I can tell them how great it is till the sun goes down, but until they get out here and feel it for themselves,
yeah,
that's hard to explain how much of a game changer it is.
Yeah.
It would be definitely uncomfortable, if not semi-unsafe, to be out here for very long without without both systems running. One thing I definitely noticed is like coming in inlets and stuff with a ride system, you can't run crazy, but it keeps the bow from wanting to,
When you're in a following sea?
yeah, when you're in a straight following sea.
Those always question of mine with the automated system like this. Following C, where you usually have to trim the engines up and obviously keep your tabs up all the way.
Feel it right now, like it doesn't let it bury the bow as much. Like I wouldn't run just wide open through here, just because I've seen boats pitch pole before, but like definitely it would be wanting to bury the bow more on a lot of these waves than it is right now. You can feel how smooth it's running and not digging into the backs of the waves as much, you know?
That's pretty amazing. Well, I have to say that was one of the more exciting sea trials that we've been on. It's the perfect weather for the Seakeeper products, and Tim, thank you as always for kicking my ass out there. So again, that's exactly what you have to do. You have to experience this stuff yourself to really understand what the capabilities are. So if you didn't make it to the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show, check out one of Tri-Sea Stabilizer's 5 locations throughout Florida. Tim, if you want to mention where you guys are at.
Sure, yeah, we've got Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Islamorada, Tampa, Pensacola, Florida, and also serving Carolinas up in the Wilmington, North Carolina market.
Awesome. So if you didn't get the chance to do it here, reach out to these guys. They'll be more than happy to take you out. And that's really what's going to do it. Don't take my word for it. Check it out yourself, and actually reach out to me after the fact and let me know what you guys thought. Again, thank you. My name is Alan from Center Consoles Only. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you again on the next one.